You know that feeling when everyone's talking about a fragrance's amazing longevity, but then you spray it on, and 2 hours later, nothing? Well, I've been testing Maison Alhambra's Glacier Bold for months now. And what I discovered about its actual staying power might surprise you. Some people swear it lasts all day. Others claim it vanishes faster than your weekend plans. So, who's telling the truth? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jesse, and I'm glad you clicked on this video. Your guide through the wild world of scents that won't break the bank. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about cologne fragrances of 2025, Glacier Bold by Maison Alhambra. And we're asking the question that keeps popping up in every forum, every review, every comment section. How long does this thing actually last? Before we get into the nitty-gritty, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up in the next few weeks. We've got some serious fragrance mysteries to uncover, and you'll want to be here for every reveal. So let's talk about Glacier Bold. This little blue bottle has been causing quite the stir in the fragrance community. It's Maison Alhambra's take on Jean-Paul Gaultier's Beau Parfum. And at around $20 compared to the original's $120, it's caught everyone's attention. But here's where things get interesting. The performance reviews are all over the place. On Fragrantica, it's sitting at a 3.17 out of 5 for longevity. Some users are claiming 7 to 8 hours of wear time. Others are saying it barely makes it past lunch. One reviewer mentioned getting a strong projection for 30 minutes, then it becomes a skin scent. Another person said they couldn't stop smelling their wrist 15 minutes after application. So what's really going on here? Let me break down the scent profile first, because understanding what you're smelling can help explain the performance mysteries. Glacier Bold opens with a bright burst of bergamot, that fresh citrusy kick that wakes up your nose. It's crisp, it's clean, and honestly, it's pretty addictive in those first few minutes. But here's where it gets tropical. The heart of this fragrance is coconut wood, and when I say coconut, I mean you're basically wearing a vacation. It's creamy, it's exotic, and it has this almost edible quality that makes you want to keep sniffing your wrist. Some people describe it as smelling like pineapple and coconut mixed together, which honestly isn't far off. The base is where things get sophisticated. Tonka bean brings this sweet, slightly spicy warmth that rounds everything out. It's like vanilla's cooler, more complex cousin. And this is where the longevity story really begins, because base notes are supposed to be the marathon runners of the fragrance world. But that wasn't the whole story. I decided to put Glacier Bold through what I call the real-world test. Not just a quick spray and review, but actual daily wear over different seasons, different occasions, and different skin conditions. And what I found was pretty eye-opening. First test, summer heat. I'm talking about those 90-degree California days where most fragrances either become nuclear weapons or disappear entirely. I applied 3 sprays of Glacier Bold at 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., I could still smell it clearly without bringing my wrist to my nose. By noon, it had settled into what I'd call a personal scent bubble. Not projecting much, but definitely there if someone got close. Here's the interesting part though. At around 2 p.m., when I expected it to be completely gone, I caught a whiff while reaching for something. That tonka bean base was still hanging on, just much quieter than before. By 5 p.m., it was basically a skin scent, but it was still technically there. So we're looking at about 9 hours total, but with only the first 2 hours having any real projection. Second test, air conditioning all day. This is where things got really interesting. Same 3 sprays, same morning application, but this time I was in a climate-controlled environment all day. The performance was noticeably better. That bergamot opening lasted longer, the coconut heart had more staying power, and the tonka base was still noticeable at dinner time. This tells us something important about Glacier Bold. It's temperature sensitive. Heat makes those top and middle notes evaporate faster, while cooler conditions help everything last longer. It's not just about longevity, it's about understanding when and where this fragrance performs best. But here's where things get really wild. I started getting different performance based on skin preparation. You know how everyone says to moisturize before applying fragrance? With Glacier Bold, this advice isn't just helpful, it's essential. Dry skin seem to absorb this fragrance like a sponge, killing the longevity. Well-moisturized skin gave me an extra 2 to 3 hours of wear time. Now let's talk about that maceration everyone mentions. Maceration is basically letting your fragrance sit and age, allowing the ingredients to marry and develop. I tested a fresh bottle against one that had been sitting for 3 months, and the difference was noticeable. The older bottle had better blending between the notes and seemed to last about an hour longer on average. One reviewer mentioned that after a year of owning Glacier Bold, it became more powdery, and the tonka really came through. This matches what I experienced with my aged bottle. The coconut became less in-your-face tropical and more sophisticated, while that tonka base really started to shine. But what about projection? This is where Glacier Bold shows its budget DNA. In those first 30 minutes, you're getting decent projection, maybe arm's length. But unlike some of those beast mode fragrances, it settles down pretty quickly. By the 1 hour mark, you're looking at a personal scent bubble. By hour 2, it's mostly a skin scent. Now, some people love this progression. It means you're not overwhelming anyone in close quarters, but you still get to enjoy the fragrance throughout the day. Others want that projection to last longer. It really depends on what you're looking for in a fragrance. Here's something nobody talks about enough: seasonal performance variations. I wore this through fall, winter, spring, and summer, and each season told a different story. Spring and fall gave me the best overall performance. The moderate temperatures seemed perfect for all the notes to develop properly. Summer was trickier. While the tropical coconut felt thematically appropriate, the heat killed the longevity. But here's a pro tip I discovered. Lighter application in summer actually worked better. 2 sprays instead of 3 gave me better performance than overspraying and having it all evaporate quickly. Winter was where Glacier Bold struggled the most. Something about cold, dry air just didn't agree with this fragrance. The projection suffered, and the longevity dropped to maybe 4 to 5 hours total. Let me address the elephant in the room. How does this compare to the original Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau, Le Parfum? I've tested them side by side, and while Glacier Bold gets about 85% of the scent profile right, the performance gap is where you really notice the price difference. Le Beau, Le Parfum has better projection throughout its wear time, where Glacier Bold becomes a skin scent after 2 hours. The original maintains some projection for 4 to 5 hours. The longevity is comparable on both, but the original has better sillage, that scent trail you leave behind. But here's the thing. At $20 versus $120, are you getting 6 times less performance? Absolutely not. You're getting maybe 75% of the performance at 17% of the price. For most people, that math works out pretty well. If you smash that like button right now, it helps more people discover these honest fragrance reviews. And trust me, we've got some controversial opinions coming up in future videos that you won't want to miss. So here's my final verdict on Glacier Bold's longevity. In optimal conditions, cool weather, moisturized skin, and proper application, you're looking at 6 to 8 hours of total wear time. The first hour gives you decent projection. Hours 2 through 4 are personal scent bubble territory, and hours 5 through 8 are skin scent only. In challenging conditions, hot weather, dry skin, and over-application, you might only get 4 to 5 hours total, with minimal projection throughout. The key with Glacier Bold is managing expectations and optimizing the application. This isn't a beast mode fragrance that's going to announce your presence from across the room all day. It's a personal fragrance that lets you enjoy a high-quality scent experience without breaking the bank. For the price point, the performance is actually quite reasonable. You're getting a well-composed fragrance that captures most of what makes Le Beau Le Parfum special, just with less nuclear projection and slightly shorter longevity. Who should buy Glacier Bold? If you love the coconut vanilla tonka combination and want something for personal enjoyment rather than maximum projection, this is a solid choice. If you're testing the waters before committing to the original, it's perfect. If you need an all-day projecting beast, you might want to look elsewhere. My recommendation? Buy it. Let it macerate for at least a month. Learn how it performs on your skin in different conditions and adjust your application accordingly. Don't expect miracles, but do expect to smell pretty damn good for 6 to 8 hours. Before you go, drop a comment and let me know what your experience with Glacier Bold's longevity is. Does your team last all day, or does the team go by lunch? I read every single comment, and your experiences help other viewers make better decisions. If you want more honest fragrance reviews that cut through the hype, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got some interesting clone comparisons coming up that are gonna ruffle some feathers in the fragrance community. And if you're curious about other Maison Alhambra releases, check out the video I'll link in the description about their entire Glacier lineup. Some of those bottles have very different performance characteristics that might surprise you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep smelling amazing, and remember, the best fragrance is the one that makes you feel confident, regardless of what anyone else thinks about its longevity. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, smell and feel good. Stay fragrant.